What's required here for us then is a change of consciousness, and one that's not out of line with corporate history or with our own history. It's a change of consciousness that helps us define and helps the corporation, helps us to insist that the corporation define as its goal not the betterment for a few select people at the top, the wealth of them, immense wealth, but rather that defines the corporation's goal as being to serve the community. So, we come down to you, each and every one of us. What can you do? What can I do? Well, in the book, I have a long laundry list of things that people can do, but it really depends on each of us. I'm a writer. There's certain things I can do. If you're a lawyer, you could do something else. A teacher would do something else. A plumber, a massage therapist. We all have different things that we excel in, and we all have different things that draw our hearts, and we must look to those ultimately for what it is we need to do. But there's a few things that all of us can and must do. The first, I think, and I'm not putting these in any particular order, but it's to redefine what it is to be human on this planet and to replace the idea of short-term greed with long-term responsibility. We have to insist that our children stop honoring people like Donald Trump, whose biggest goal in life is to say you're fired. We have to replace these people with heroes that are doing things for community. We must shop consciously, second thing. Fair trade coffee and other fair trade items. Fish that are abundant, not those that are going extinct. And please, a lot of you aren't going to like this one. Don't buy water from the Alps or Fiji. You know, it's not organic if it's coming a long way in trucks or airplanes or trains. Even if it comes from California, there's a lot of good things locally. We need to use local water. Make it better if that's what has to happen. Recycle. Greenwich, Connecticut. Well, that's not too far away. Recycle paper and wood, fuel-efficient cars and appliances. Buy everything from no-sweat factories. You go to Google and go to non-sweat products, and you'll find how you know whether your T-shirt's been made in a sweatshop that pays $2 a day, slave labor or not. Live consciously. You know, we all need to be aware that everything we do connects with everybody else on the whole planet, not just around us. Support nonprofits that make a difference. There's a lot of great nonprofits here. I founded one, and its director's here with me tonight, Dream Change. You can go to dreamchange.org. But there's a lot of fantastic nonprofits that are doing great work. Educate yourself and others. You know, if there's one thing I saw as I walked around Washington yesterday, the Jefferson Memorial and Lincoln Memorial and other places, it was all about education. It's about understanding. Democracy depends on an educated electorate. Question your political and business leaders. Write letters and emails. Vote consciously. Come together and form communities and support each other. It's easy for us to sit back and proclaim that the problems are too large, the corporatocracy too powerful. But you know what? That's just a cop-out. Thank God our forefathers back in the 1770s didn't say, oh, the King of England's too powerful. The biggest army in the whole world that represents the largest empire in the whole world and happens to be my government, it's too powerful. I can't stand up to it. I can't do anything about it. Thank God Thomas Jefferson, who sits over there in the Jefferson Memorial, had the gall, had the courage to stick his neck in a noose because he was a traitor, he was a terrorist. He went against his government and would have been hanged if we'd lost the war, as would George Washington, for whom this town is named. Thank God they had the courage. Thank God my father had the courage to fight Hitler and beat him. Thank God my parents and grandparents had the courage to make it through the Great Depression. Those were tough times. We've got it easy by comparison. All we got to do is change the corporations. That's easy. It's just how we shop, you know. and work. I'd like to just end now with a few examples of, and then we'll open it to questions and answers, of some people who have made a difference that I would like to honor. And this year, just this last month, we celebrated the death of Eugene McCarthy. There's an inspiration, whether you believe in his policies or not. There's a man who probably can take as much credit as anyone for bringing down perhaps the most powerful president in the United States in modern times, Lyndon Johnson, and bringing an end to the Vietnam War and bringing down Nixon also. There's a man and all of his followers who really created change. Rosa Parks. I grew up in rural New Hampshire. I had no idea that blacks were not allowed to ride on the front of a bus until Rosa Parks showed me that. She changed the world. She not only changed the United States' attitude towards integration, but she changed South Africa's attitude and many, many other countries. Rachel Carson, who wrote Silent Spring and taught us about chemical pollution. 100 years ago, you women couldn't have voted in this country. Today you can. It may not count, but we're going to change that too. Think of what we've done in the areas of pollution. Rivers were on fire 30 years ago. Acid rain has really decreased tremendously. Aerosol emissions. We've saved a lot of endangered species. The Kyoto Protocol has been rejected by our government, but it's been accepted by over 200 cities in this country. There's so much that we've done. SUV sales have gone down by 50% this year, and hybrid sales are going up. There are many things we can do. And in this last year, the number of books, in addition to Confessions of an Economic Hitman, there have been a lot of other great books that have come out telling the truth. Look at the movies, The Constant Gardener, Hotel Rwanda, Syriana, Good Night, Good Luck, Munich. There's no excuse for anybody not to be educated and not to be aware at this point. And I'd like to make one final special appeal to all of you who, like me, are over 50. I'm well over 50. We've reached this point in life when we've had it really pretty good, and I think we've been a pretty selfish generation, really. And do we really want to retire to play golf or read books all the time? No, I think 1 or 2 days a week of golf ought to be satisfactory for anybody. We are what I like to call entering the age of mastery, and I think Gail Sheehan coined that phrase. We're really here. We don't need to worry about making a living probably anymore. We don't need to worry about our children in terms of providing them with educations, but we do need to worry about the world they're entering. Please, I beg of you, if you're over 50, start thinking, and if you're over 60, as I am, really think about what you can do for the rest of your life to make this world a better place. That's what you're going to enjoy. That's a lot more fun than playing golf, I guarantee it. But you can do a little of the golf, too. So enlist yourself in whatever movement appeals to you, how you can do this. Now, this is just about the end, but I'd just like to ask you to close your eyes for just a moment again. And I'd like you to envision something that you can do to change the world. And see what impact this is going to have when you do this. Something that draws your heart. And look at the impact. Something that'll make this world a better place. What can you do? And make a commitment to doing it right now. Make a commitment. Okay. You can open your eyes, and a lot of you are already standing up. Those who are sitting down, I'd like to ask you to stand up for a moment. It's good to stretch for a moment before we go into questions and answers. And turn to somebody. Well, stand up first. Try to get you on your feet. And turn to somebody now and share your commitment with that person, the commitment you just made.